YouTube beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting off my Halloween series with a Marvel classic, Ghost Rider. Now I've sped this video up for time, but if you want to follow along at your own pace, just slow it down in the settings while you watch. I've kept the process simple enough for anyone to try no matter your skill level. Let's jump right in. I'm starting off by taking a white eyeliner pencil and mapping out the main skeleton structure of the face. This helps me visualise where everything will sit before I go in with paint. Once I'm happy with the shape, I'm filling in the main areas with white face paint to start building that skull base. Next, I'm reaching for black face paint with a liner brush to outline and then fill in the eye sockets and the nose cavity. Already you can see the transformation starting to take shape. For the lips, I'm blocking them out with white and then using a fluffy eyeshadow brush with black shadow to gently buff around the mouth, creating that shadowy, hollow effect. Now with white paint and a fine brush, I'm sketching in the teeth blocks. This is where Ghost Rider really starts to come alive. I'll go back in with black paint to outline each tooth, giving them definition and a border that adds depth and that slightly menacing edge. Moving down into the cheekbones, I'm sketching in the hollows of the cheeks and filling them in with black paint. This instantly frames the skull and gives that sunken skeletal structure. I'm also shading in the dips at the side of the skull for dimension and continuing the work in detail lines above the top teeth and below the bottom teeth. I'll deepen some of the spaces in between to really push those teeth forward and add that extra 3D illusion. Just under the eye sockets, I'm painting in some skinny lines to give a cracked effect, then drawing in the jawline to lock the structure into place. For the forehead and brows, I'm using an angled brush with black eyeshadow to create Ghost Rider's raised brow bone, along with a few vertical lines through the centre of the forehead. These little details add that fiery intensity. I'll soften those lines by blending with shadow, then add in more detail with white paint, highlighting along the brows, forehead and around the teeth for texture and dimension. At this stage, I'm balancing back and forth between the shadows and the highlights, making sure the structure feels dynamic. I'll use black shadow to blend through the hollows of the cheeks, under the eyes and through the brown line. Now onto the flames. I've loosely tied up my hair so it's spread out, which makes painting through it easier. I'm starting with white at the top of the skull and blending it into the hairline to keep that connection seamless. Then I'm layering yellow through the strands for the first pop of fire, followed by orange closer to the hairline, blending into the top of the skull. To bring it all together, I'm buffing shimmer gold through the transition points, which softens everything and gives a fiery glowing effect. I'll then place random streaks of white as the brightest parts of the flame. This creates movement and gives that flickering fire illusion. To enhance the fiery look even more, I'm blending yellow and orange eyeshadow around the forehead and into the hairline, letting it melt into the skull makeup. Then I'll return to the face and add some final depth, darkening the hollows of the cheeks, reinforcing some of the lines above the teeth and jaw, and softening with blending so everything feels connected. I'm using an angle brush to define the cheekbone and jawline, then softening with a touch of black shadow. Under the jaw, I'm painting black to prepare for the flames on the neck. To finish, I'm adding highlights along the brow, under the eye socket, above the cheekbone, into the jaw hollow and between the teeth for extra definition. Now I'm working down the neck and collarbones. Using a buffing brush, I'm placing shimmer golds on the high points where the light would hit, then blending orange through the mid-tones and adding a deep burnt red into the recessed areas. This gives the illusion of glowing flames wrapping around the neck and shoulders. I'll carry that same burnt red back up into the hair to tie the look together. Finally, I'm adding some last touches of detail with a liner brush, rounding off the teeth, deepening the centre line between the top and bottom, and popping in a few extra white highlights across the cheekbones and jaw to sharpen everything up. And with that, the Ghost Rider transformation is complete. And that's my take on Marvel's Ghost Rider, the perfect start to my Halloween series. I really hope you enjoyed watching this transformation as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this Haunted Nightmare series, and give me a follow on Instagram for more reels and posts. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate your support. Sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next one.